So this is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'm encouraging everybody to storm Area 51 and to do it safely. I've been doing it for years with the internet. I've been seeking the truth and wanting to know the reality of the world that we live in for a long time. And right now I wanted to zoom in on the sun appearing in the midst of the clouds again, as Job 37 proclaims. I'm planning on driving to Area 51 area with the Truthmobile and recording that live as I go, bouncing back and forth between YouTube and Facebook. I would encourage everybody to explore my liked videos, especially as it relates to having some boron in your system. For me, I'm consuming about a quarter of a teaspoon per day and about a teaspoon of baking soda. And there's a lot of details that are explained on other videos. I'll break some of that down again as well. There's weather modification. I call it weather wars. There's electronic activation of particulate that is placed in the air that we breathe and in the water as a result of that. Some of these nano particles that are integrated with data collection and data collection systems and modifying the humanity basically in everything. Self-replicating nanobots. You can look at DARPA, the CIA. Check this stuff out. If you explore my channel, I've got approaching 2,900 videos that are basically exposing, I believe, much of the truth about the world we live in, involving artificial intelligence and directed energy weapons, 5G, and more. There's a lot going on with that, with all of it. So if you're wondering why would I go to Area 51? Well, I want to expose the reality. I'm sure the Truthmobile will be easily visible, and I'll probably be leaving soon. When I get home today, I'm planning on getting the car ready and all my stuff. Got to do an oil change. Got to get all ready for that. I mean, the car is in good repair, and I'm encouraging people to have something like a pie plate you can put underneath your evaporator for your air conditioning system and recover dripping water. You could, if you're so handy as you can attach a container where it'll just automatically drip into, that would be helpful. Water may be a bit of a challenge out there. I encourage everybody to drink highly purified carbon filtered water. One of the problems with the water that would be coming off of the air conditioner is it's going to have who knows what particulate that they're going to maybe disperse there in celebration of the storming Area 51 event. Could be smart dust, could be silent weapons for quiet wars. It's there's a lot going on with all of this. So I may not be able to do what I'm doing for much longer, and I want to seize the opportunity to reach out to as many people as possible. Now, on some of the other issues that I talk about, in the summer, earlier in the year, the sun comes up in the middle of the view, way over there. In the winter, it'll come up way in the middle of the view over there. Okay, so it's evidence as well that the sun moves over the stationary Earth as well as the moon. Job 37 proclaims that the sun is in the midst of the clouds. I've captured that occurrence many times. I call it the local sun. That occurrence is normally more prominent when the sun is low on the horizon based on perspective. Okay, so for example, it appears that the pier gets shorter, it's just further away. And now I'll just go ahead and zoom in on the Myrtle Beach skyline a bit. Closer looks taller, and then the buildings look shorter as they get further away. It's just the nature of it. They're all around a couple hundred feet tall here. The tidal activity is roughly an hour later at the Myrtle Beach International Airport area, pretty close to where I'm showing in the middle of the view there. So I'm encouraging everybody to storm Area 51. You can do it with the internet from wherever you are. You can find a lot of interesting content on my channel. And what I would also encourage you to do is to go ahead and copy and paste information you want to send me, either through Facebook or on my YouTube channel. I encourage everybody to make your liked videos publicly available and then copy and paste your video channel and especially your liked video playlist wherever you can. Of course, a lot of channels won't let that go be visible to the other viewers and commenters. Some allow it. However, the person with the channel should be able to see it. Some of my friends see that. When I copy and paste my playlist with their video included, and I put something like excellent sharing, and then I show it that their video is on my playlist, it's a way that we can help expose the reality of the world we live in to much of the world that is unaware of it. The truth isn't determined by popular opinion. It's not popular and it's not an opinion. There's the truth, and then there's everything else. More recently, I've covered the boron, which is Mule 20 Team Borax, is one of the brand names that I personally am using now. And I'm putting a quarter of a teaspoon of borax, which is the element boron, and I add that amount to 1 gallon of water. I drink about a gallon and a half to 2 gallons of water a day. Sometimes I run it through coffee beans. So yeah, I like my coffee. I'm not going to be riding dirty. I don't take any drugs. So if there's an event where I'm framed with having drugs, well, you know, that's bogus. That wouldn't be true. Artificial intelligence monitors all of our activity, virtually all of it. And I'm not kidding when I say virtually. There's a lot going on with that. There's a disease called Morgellons, Morgellons. It's a derivative of the geoengineering, weather modification, weather wars. There's biological agents that they take up residence in the host of the humanity and the pets and all that. I've got videos that talk about it. You can research that more. Clifford Carnicom has the Carnicom Institute. He's on my liked videos if his channel is still up. I had a fibrous discharge, like little pimples that had polyfibers in them that were coming out of my skin probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. Once I was born again in 2014 and started eating really healthy and listening to God's Word a lot, that all stopped. But I also used baking soda on my skin and in my water. I was putting that in my water and using that for personal hygiene. There's a chemical assault on humanity right now, and I cover that on a lot of my videos. And what I'll do is put super high-powered healthy nutrients in my body that involve a liquefaction of spinach, kale, chia seed, hemp hearts, mixed berries, bananas, prunes, apple cider vinegar, very important, you can look it up, as well as any other fruits and vegetables I might want to add, like pineapple. The chia seed is very absorbing. It's a gelatinous seed that absorbs 9 times its weight in liquid. So what it does is it absorbs the nutrients and the liquid and has a timed release capacity. So it evens out the blood sugar. It's super healthy. All the fiber I mentioned in the fruits and vegetables is very cleansing. There's a lot of buildup in a lot of people's digestive tract, and that can create a real problem. Now, I have medical benefits on a page of the consumption of borax or boron, same thing, and also baking soda. And it includes killing of body parasites, candida. It's a body yeast, yeast infections, and athlete's foot, toenail fungus, and psoriasis, dandruff. All of it is, they're all parasites of a different kind, but they're all killed. It's a body fungus that baking soda and borax will kill. So I bathe in it too. A cup of baking soda and borax each, and a 1/4 cup of coconut oil in my bath water. That is highly purified, carbon filtered water that I store up in 5-gallon jugs. My water system has only a storage tank of like 2 gallons. However, the system will produce about 70 gallons a day. Plenty of water for me to bathe in and drink and feed the cats with it and all of that. So that's where it is. That's what's going on. I don't think I'm not sure that I'll be going to the Flat Earth Conference. It's there's other issues going on in my life personally. Right between now and September 20th and a little after, probably no big deal. We might have a hurricane here, but Joni will take care of the house and the kitties, I'm sure. And there's family here for that. So I'm very likely going to be getting on the road to go on out there. It's major worldwide media attention, and I will want to leverage that for the purposes that I'm created for, basically exposing the reality of the world we live in to a humanity that's unaware of it. This is Robert Forsch with YouTube channel Truth, and if you hashtag my name, you'll find I've got a lot of content out there, and if you hashtag YouTube Truth, you'll find it as well. Because of my activity in the truth movement, and ultimately I believe there's just one, the ultimate truth. The truth isn't determined by popular opinion. It's not popular and it's not an opinion, it just is. There's the truth and then there's everything else. Seeing is believing. What? What do we see and what do we believe about it? Many of us bought the Santa Claus lie. That Santa was aware of what we were doing, and if we were good, would bring us our wish list, and if we were bad, we'd get a lump of coal. Well, that was a lie. When I found out about that lie, I was about 7 years old, and then I was presented the moon landing hoax as undisputed fact. That was a lie. We didn't go to the moon. We don't live on a spinning water sphere. We live on a stationary level Earth, where there is a firmament up above us. The sun, moon, and stars move above the stationary and level Earth. There would be no level anywhere if we were moving at all. And apparently there's many movements supposedly going on, over 1,038 mile-an-hour rotation at the equator. That would make all of us fly off of it if that were happening. And supposedly we're spiraling through the universe. Well, all that rotation means that there would be upside down people in relationship to other people. Like walking on the beach upside down in relationship to us. None of that's happening. The upside down world exists only in the imagination of the deceived. To be intellectually honest, that could be me. I believe that I've found the reality and the truth of the situation. I've got evidence that I've compiled and proven that on my channel. We've got buoyancy, differences in density and mass, heavier than floats, heavier than falls, lighter than floats. I've got a video I shared where a 110-pound anvil is floating on a mercury, on liquid mercury because of its density. Pretty powerful. A lot of people have seen that. Approaching 1 million views on my local sun video, where the sun appears to be in the clouds, as Job 37 proclaims. Also Joshua 10, God stopped the sun and the moon from moving. You can look it up. So is the Bible a science book? Well, in the context that it exposes the truth, something that's true science is supposed to do. However, it's been hijacked for atheism and a lack of morality, and people are presented a false reality with that. And so one of the reasons why that's a big deal is they're wanting to hide God with this false reality that's being perpetrated and perpetuated. So there you go. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 says to everybody forever, they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. They'll believe the lie. So I'm going to zoom in on the moon right now. It's going to be a little tough because of the wind, but there it is. The reason why we can't see all of it right now is, well, it's got an odd shape to it. And yes, the sun is definitely hitting it. It's also self-illuminating. On the right side there, it's just not there. So it moves, the sun and the moon move above the stationary Earth, as I say. Where they appear and vanish, and the duration of visibility between one another can't be explained by the spinning ball, the spinning water sphere of deception, the sphere of influence. I got lots of words, lots of ways to hook all this together. What I'm planning on doing, like I said, is driving on out to the Area 51, and I should be on worldwide news, I would think, with the Truth Mobile. Pretty obvious to see, and I'm good with that. I'm not encouraging any illegal activity. It's a public area next to that people can go to. I would encourage you to explore the content on my page and get some borax. Put a quarter teaspoon of borax in a gallon of water, along with a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. It's all healthy, it's good for the body. Make sure that that water doesn't have other people's chemicals in it, their prescriptions and other contaminants that are in the water supply. Even if you're drinking well water, that's not necessarily safe either. That's why I encourage stripping it clean of all the particulate and chemicals, putting it in glass and in the sun. Ultraviolet light is what's hitting this water right now in front of us. That's part of the purification process. Carbon filtration is also an active part of reverse osmosis water purification systems, and I believe it's very healthy and I recommend it. Some people like distillation. I'm not necessarily against it. I just can't afford the energy or the system of distillation it would take to make me as much water as I can make cost effectively with reverse osmosis. Keep in mind, if you're drinking distilled water out of cheap, opaque plastic, you're drinking plastic molecules. The proof of that, the evidence of that, if you just drink that water and you taste plastic, you be drinking the plastic. That's the proof of it, whether you like it or not. So I've got a bunch of liquefied and frozen nutrition that I'll be putting in my coolers and taking them to the Area 51 event. If you want to patent a water recovery system to collect your water from your air conditioner on your driving car, go for it. I don't mind. I'm not selling anything, I'm giving it away. I live a life of a lot of activity of exposing the truth and the reality to humanity as best I'm able to do. That's why I do this. I do it because I care. Let me flip this around. So I've got a lot of work to do when I get home. I've got I know there's a lot of wind, so I've got to block it for the P1000. I don't have an extra mic on that. I do the best I can with the technology that I can afford, just so you know. At the Flat Earth Conference, I was in front of media professionals and cameras for over 3 hours. My friends know that. Some of them saw it. I'm not making this stuff up. So around 40 million times people heard me say, do you feel yourself spinning, wobbling, or gyrating? Well, the earth doesn't move. The part of the evidence of that, as silly as it may seem, wind chimes, they don't hang upside down. Water, it seeks level. The surface of undisturbed water is flat and level. The physics and properties of water expose the impossibility of the globe, as we're told. So the water seeks level, covers the face of the earth, doesn't conform to a massive water sphere. I mean, water will pour over my plastic globe, but it's not gonna, you can't have miles of water high on a spinning water sphere. And we do have mountains over 5.5 miles tall, according to the official narrative, Mount Everest, 5.49. I'll be going over some mountains on my way to Area 51. I'll be going live on YouTube and Facebook. Wow, I've got a lot of work to do. I want to probably have some simulcasts. I've got to work through some of the details. Some of it will be recording, of course, with the P1000. And if you want YouTube Truth stickers, you can send a self-addressed stamped envelope to 169 Cloverleaf Drive, Longs, South Carolina 29568. Of course, you can call me anytime, 1-843-504-1776. You can use the Facebook Messenger if you want. If you want to meet up publicly, I'm going to need to see your number. If you want to send me something anonymously, you can send it to my robertforsch@gmail.com. I do have people send me pretty disturbing information, some of which I believe to be accurate and true and worthy of me sharing it. When I do that, and I copy and paste my playlist on a video or in a comment, I understand that the artificial intelligence is going to block a lot of that. However, the content producer or creators of that will know. The artificial intelligence knows I'm going. I hesitated at first. I've been searching for the truth about everything for a long time. The biggest question that I had was, if I was truly born again, why was I struggling with drug addiction and alcoholism, struggling with the flesh? Well, the answer I got was disturbing and relieving at the same time. I found out that that's all I had. All I had was the flesh. I didn't have the power of the Spirit to overcome the flesh. I was doing it in my own strength. And when I was actually born again, He changed me so sufficiently. God, the creator of this world, Yahweh, Yeshua, the living word, the living water, the great I am, the Alpha and Omega, the Most High, the Most Holy, some call Him Yah for short. The reference I prefer is the relationship I have with Him. He's my Heavenly Father, and I'm grateful to be one of His children that's actually born again. We're all eternal beings having a temporary human experience. At some point in the human experience, the child of God will be born again. That is for sure, and that's forever. 7 people per second no longer have the human experience. About half of those are abortions, and the other half is people that die in a variety of ways. And those are only the ones that are documented. It may be more than that with human sacrifice and breeding programs and human cloning and the merging of man and machine and hybrids that are genetically modified. I've got videos that show they're using 3D printing for genetics, making body parts. Well, they cloned Oprah's pet, Dolly the sheep, as in the days of Noah, so would it be when the Son of Man returns. There would be an increase of knowledge, corruption, decadence. The aliens that I referred to in Scripture, we are God's children, are referred to as foreigners and aliens in this land. And also we have the fallen angels that are alien in another respect. Also, artificial intelligence is referred to as, by some, an alien god. I'm going to talk about this in detail. I've got about a 40-hour drive probably to go out there, but it's going to take longer than that because I'll be talking to people on the way. This is Robert Forsch with the YouTube channel Truth. I'll be posting some content from this recording with the P1000. Thank you so much.